Good morning, listeners, and welcome back to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ronald Couming of both RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients using various Internet marketing methods and techniques to ensure their online presence is all that it needs to be. The purpose of this show is we break it up into 3 episodes, 3 parts. In the first 2 parts, we bring on subject matter experts to help you learn better ways to achieve success. And there are different ways to achieve success. You can listen to how they did it, or they can give you ideas on specific steps to take. But also, when you're in business, there's a lot of things you have to do, and you can be overwhelmed, and you can have personal things in your life that will interfere with your professional life. And your professional life, being so busy and hectic, can certainly interfere with your personal life. So trying to have some type of balance, which may or may not be actually possible, but striving towards it is certainly a goal that we all have as business owners. And I am super happy to announce that we have Anil Gupta on our show today, calling in from Orlando, I believe. And he's going to talk to us about just that. And I want to let you know that this is going to be a full episode with Anil. There won't be a second guest, nor will I be giving my tips in the third segment. So this is going to be part 1, and it will be followed with a part 2. Anil Gupta has a ability to get to the heart of the matter and to use his intuitive skills to destroy what has been holding people back in a very rapid manner, so that they can, meaning people, can lead richer, fuller, and happier lives and discover their missions. Anil, are you on the line?
Yes, I am. Hey, Ron. Nice to have to be on the show with you.
Thank you so much. And even though that was 1 or 2 sentences, it really, really pales to give you a good introduction. So in a minute or 2, I really want you to let people know who you are and what you do. But first, I'd like to ask you, are you in fact in Orlando?
I'm in Orlando in a town called Celebration, and where else would I be living?
Excellent. That's a Celebration. Now, did they name that town Celebration before or after you moved in?
Actually, it's a town that Disney built, which makes it even better. But yeah, it's always been called Celebration. I think that's what drew us to the area.
Oh, that's phenomenal. And when the listeners have listened to you going forward here, they're going to know just why that is so true, because you really are a special person on this planet, and you provide so much to people and business owners. So I'm super glad to have you on the show, and I know that you speak across the world. You give presentations on what you're going to be talking to us about, and the listeners, I don't think they have a clue the gem they have on right now. So could you please tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure. I have a very special gift that I can create the most amazing, life-changing breakthroughs that people can experience so that they can lead a richer, fuller, happier life. And normally it's done very, very rapidly. I've been very blessed to receive this gift. I speak all over the world. I have seminars all over the world. I recently had one on Richard Branson's island, which he attended. I spoke in front of 10,000 people in Colombia last year. And I'm on a mission to move, touch, and inspire 1 billion people by 2020.
That's amazing, too. And I know, speaking on Richard Branson's island, that's amazing, too. I mean, that's like by invite only, correct?
It is, yes, yeah. And I've been very privileged. I've been there 9 times. I've had the privilege of having many magical moments with him, learning from him, playing tennis with him. And, he's a very beautiful soul. He walks the talk. He is a very gentle, humble man. I'm very impressed with him.
Yeah, he is definitely a true entrepreneur, and his creative mind is just right out there. I mean, when you have a chance to be in a room with someone like him and Elon Musk and other people like that, I mean, to me, it's just such a blessing. But when you go to visit him on his island, and I'm sure you'll be going again, do you bring luggage? You know where I'm going with this, right?
Or physical luggage.
Yeah. But physical luggage. Do you bring luggage with you?
Of course, you have to, because you got to change. They have event nights. One's a pirate night, one's a white night, one's a casino night. So there's always things going on, and you need your swimming trunks and all the other stuff. But it's an island that everything's included.
Yeah, well, I know that, and I'm kind of joking, but what I'm going to say is the next time you go, you're going to have to bring another piece of luggage, and it's going to be quite large because it's going to fit me inside of it.
I've never heard that one before. No one's ever asked me that before.
Excellent. No. So there's a first for everything. But, so go ahead, talk. Tell us a little bit about your story and your process and what you do, and we'll take a break in about 20 minutes, and then we'll come back. I'll do an intro, and then we'll go into part two. And just to let the listeners know, you're going to get a ton of great content and ideas. And if you're unable to write stuff down right now, this episode and the second episode, as well as all episodes, are archived on my website, rcstechnologysolutions.com. Go to Media tab, Radio Show, and you'll be able to go back and listen to this episode over and over. It'll also be up on my YouTube channel in like 2 days. So if for some reason you can't write it down, you hear a gem, you want to listen to it again, it will be available. So it's up to you. Go on.
Fantastic. So I grew up as a doctor of optometry in London, and I had the pleasure of spending time with Tony Robbins. I, in fact, joined his Platinum program where we traveled the world with him and we got personal mentorship. And I remember him saying to me in 2000, Anil, why don't you coach for a living? I've seen the difference you've made for myself and for the other people in my group. Why don't you consider doing that for a living? I sort of looked at him because I thought, you're the coach. I cannot be anywhere near as good as you. But then, as often is the case, we see a greatness in other people that we don't often see in ourselves. And that sort of ruminated in the back of my mind. But I still continued to coach, but not as a living, because I had some other businesses. And then in 2000, as everybody knows, everything went upside down. And then the whole world collapsed around me. I'd lost everything on the stock market. The real estate affected me. So really, I didn't know how to handle it. And I've been in situations like this before, but I was much younger and much fitter emotionally. But this time I couldn't see a way out, because I couldn't see a solution other than to really do the worst possible thing that a human being can do, is to think of committing suicide. And I wouldn't eat with a knife. I wouldn't walk in the street, just in case I had a 10-second bout of madness. And that's all it takes. It's just a few minutes of madness. And I was fortunate enough, because of my relationship with Tony, to get invited to an event that he was holding. And the thoughts are coming back to me, so I may get a bit emotional. He did an intervention on me, which followed by another intervention by his wife, another intervention by his wife's brother, and finally an intervention with my wife. I remember the powerful conversation I had with my wife. I said to her, honey, I have some really bad news. We've lost everything. And she says, what are you talking about? I said, look, I've been investing badly on the stock market, and the real estate business has collapsed, and we don't have anything left. She said, honey, you made one big mistake. And I thought, oh, here we go. She's going to chastise me for the rest of my life. She said, no, honey, we still have the kids, and you still have me. We're not going anywhere. We just want to be with you, and we'll sleep in the street if we have to. I wasn't expecting that. I thought that she'd be very upset and that she would go crazy. And a beautiful thing happened, and she said, honey, we're here for you. And she said, look, honey, I knew there was something going on. I said, why? She said, well, you look so stressed. And she said, I thought it was something serious. And I said, well, this is serious. She said, no, you don't understand. I thought you were ill. I thought you had cancer. I thought you were dying. That's all she was worried about.
Wow.
And ladies and gentlemen, what I urge you to do is talk to your spouse. You'll be amazed at what you think they need and what they actually need and want from you are two different things. And when you have that disparity, when you don't have that congruency, that's when your relationships aren't as good as they could be. So I urge all of you, ask your wife, ask your spouse, honey, what is it you want from me? What can I deliver to you that would make you happy? And you'll be surprised. A lot of women will say, I want more time from you. I want you to be present. I want you to be more loving. I want you to listen to me. I want to be heard. I want you to buy me small gifts, not big gifts, but be thoughtful. I want you to help me around the house. It's these small things that are the big things.
So true. And your wife is, I don't think I met her yet. I mean, I've met you, your son, you know, I've met you guys half a dozen or more times. I mean, you guys are great people. I don't think I've had the pleasure of meeting your wife, but wow, what a truly strong soul. And for her to say that to you, especially at that time where, and it wasn't like she thought about it and she planned something to say to be supportive. It was a natural, reactive response. So it was pure. It was the way it was. And man, what beautiful! Absolutely. I started choking up when I heard her when you said that. And I've heard your story a few times, man. But yeah, it's so powerful.
Good. So, are there any questions the audience has, or anything you'd like to ask me?
Well, for you, I know you have a process. I know you walk people through things. So I just wanted you to kind of like when you speak at Eric Swanson's events and other events where you get up and you speak. I just wanted to really open the floor to you to speak. And then from there, I'll interject with a few questions here and there. I did not open the lines up for calls. I just wanted people to get the value of what you wanted, and then later we will give your contact info so they can send you an email or something, and that way there, you know, people can have specific things, but you know, sometimes it might be some private questions too, and you may need to think a little in order to give them a full response. So I figured it was better just to give you an open platform.
Fantastic. So if I could, can I share a happiness formula that I developed, which really has a powerful impact on people's lives?
Excellent. On this episode, we have like 13 minutes left, and in the next one, we'll have a full 25 to 30 minutes. So break it up any way you want.
Okay. So I have a happiness formula, and it goes something like this. Happiness equals G cubed. The first G is you have to give. Give your time, your energy, your love, your commitment, your joy, your gift, your money. Give it away without wanting anything in return. The second G is that you have to be grateful. Be grateful for what you have and don't focus on what you don't have. So, Ron, if I could ask you, just look at your hands.
Yep.
When was the last time you thanked them?
Mm-hmm. Me personally, but probably the last time I was in a seminar with you a couple months ago. If it wasn't for that, probably never.
Yeah, and what have they done for you?
Everything. I mean, just so much. I mean, I'm sitting here with my laptop, and I dialed the phone number to call. I'm picking up a cup of coffee. I mean, they've done so much.
Yeah, they've fed you, protected you, clothed you, wiped you, nurtured you, held the most important people in your arms, opened the door, driven you to beautiful places, allowed you to carry luggage onto a plane that transports you at 600 miles per hour. So, you know, be grateful for things like that. Be grateful for the skin that protects you and holds everything in. Be grateful for the small things, the water that we poop in that other countries would love to drink from. So gratitude is a big part of living a fulfilled, richer, happier, fuller life. And the third G is you have to grow emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally. So The beautiful thing about this formula is at any given time, one of those three G's is below the rest. So today it could be gratitude, it could be giving, it could be growing. So always work on the lowest G. When you work on the lowest G, all of the G's rise. And it's very powerful. So all of your listeners, everybody that's listening in today, take a minute, write down what's your lowest G today. Are you in need of being more giving, in need of being able to grow more, or being in the need to be more grateful? And just think about that for a moment. And what happens is, once you do that, you get clarity. And clarity gives you focus. Focus gives you action, and action gives you results, which ultimately leads to momentum. And momentum gets the success and achievements that you truly deserve. But it has to start from awareness. You cannot be fulfilled, you cannot be joyous, you cannot be in love, you cannot be successful without awareness. So just do this one little exercise. I promise you, this is a life changer. It's a game changer for you.
I think that's amazing. The giving, gratitude, and growing, the 3G process. Maybe we can break down each one of those three processes, unless you have a bunch of other stuff you want to talk about, and we could help people understand that giving isn't just about giving money. It might be giving time. It might be going into your closet and seeing clothes that you no longer use but are just there, and giving them to a charity, because what you don't use or don't even think about anymore, to somebody else, that's a serious blessing. I mean, they have virtually nothing, or it might be 2 or 3 levels up in quality of what their daily life is, and to you you don't even use it, you know what I mean, or think about it, so it means nothing, but to somebody else it means everything. So giving can have so many different levels, and I think sometimes people get caught up on the top levels of things, like giving money to charities, but it is so much more. Am I correct? And it might even, like with the example you gave with your wife earlier, it could be just giving more time. When you go to dinner, take your phone, shut it off, turn it upside down, be present, give that gift to the person. Am I correct that giving has a lot more than just giving money?
Absolutely true. And, going on what you were saying, when you give your clothes to that other person, it could be a big uplift. It'd be like the equivalent of someone giving you a brand new Tesla and say, hey, Ron, you take this. I've got a Ferrari, I've got Lamborghinis, I've got Rolls Royces. Here, I don't need this. You take it. That's the effect it could have on someone else. And giving it, to me, is very simple. If you smile at someone, that's giving. If you thank someone, that's giving. If you acknowledge someone, that's giving. If you buy someone a coffee, or you pay their toll booth fee, or do something like that, you pick up a piece of paper off the floor and put it in a bin, that's all giving. It's very, very, very powerful. And in the moment, as human beings, we do everything for a reason. We have a relationship, a car, a house, some money in the bank for a reason, and that reason is for the feeling it gives us. So everything that we do for a feeling. And as human beings, we're meaning-making machines. So everything that we do, we make a meaning to it. So let me give you an example. If I call my wife and she doesn't return my call, I make it mean she doesn't love me, she doesn't respect me, she doesn't honor me. And all that happened was she didn't return my call. But as a human being, I make a big story around it. Then, as a human being, I find ways to make myself right. So I would say, oh, here she did this, then here she goes again. And then the story gets even bigger. So, but what actually happened was that she didn't call me back. So have a look at your lives and ask yourself, what happened? What did I make it mean? What does it cost me? When I say what does it cost me, it means how hard does it hit you emotionally? Do you feel that you don't love that person in that moment? Do you feel upset? Do you feel angry? Do you feel frustrated? And the cost of that is you lose all of the joy of life. So there's a big disadvantage to being that way. So ask yourself, what happened? What did I make it mean? What did it cost me? And then ask yourself, what actually happened? And then maybe you want to ask yourself, what would happen if I let this go?
Wow. And if people can get a good handle, and we'll finish up with the giving and go more into the gratitude and growing and whatever else you'd like to share. But this really affects people in every aspect of their life. Am I correct? So it's not just family, business. It's every part of your life. It's not one or the other. When people have a total change of mindset, and because of that, they have more peace in their heart, it carries through to everything they do and everyone they touch. Am I correct?
You're absolutely correct. And that's a secret in the fact that this is a universal law. The happiness formula, H equals G cubed, applies to every part of your life. And the act of giving, the act of growing, and the act of being grateful really does impact how you show up in life, and it's very, very powerful. So by you giving today will have impacts in your personal life, your business life, and your family life. It's very, very powerful and it's immediate. You'll start to feel the benefits immediately.
Excellent. And in the second episode, maybe we can go more into both of these, or all three of these, in the last two that we didn't cover yet, the growing and gratitude. But I have been listening to Jim Rohn's, Tony Robbins, Les Brown. I try to start every single day with 15 to 20 minutes. Don't check your emails. Don't go into reactive mode. Put in some positive stuff so you start your day. Tony Robbins, I forget the exact words, but he says that, in the first 20 minutes, your mind is more open to, I forget the exact words he says, but it's open to receive more of whatever it is. So if you put in negative stuff, it's going to carry through for the rest of your day. Or if you just start answering your emails, now you're in reactive mode. So by listening to that 10, 15, 20 minutes every morning, one of the first things I do when I get up is that's what I do. Within 10 minutes, I try to get to it. And I tell you, my days start off so much better. And oftentimes, because the stuff's free, you just go on YouTube, you click on a video, and, there's hundreds of them from Tony Robbins, Les Brown, and Jim Rohn, who actually Tony Robbins tutored with for 3 years before he went out on his own. And 3 or 4 years, 17 to 21, I believe. So there's tons of stuff available. And do you think that is also maybe a great way people could start? We'll go more into maybe steps, but that, to me, helped me with not just the mental and emotional growing and learning more things and, getting away from this, that, and the other thing that's holding you back, but then it goes into the gratitude. So I don't know if giving, gratitude, growing is an exact order. Maybe people start with the growing, and then they develop more gratitude, and then they understand the process and get more into giving. Do you think that it's giving, gratitude, growing, or could it be any order?
Well, it really doesn't matter as long as they work on the lowest G. So if today they're not giving, work on the giving. If today they're not grateful, work on the gratitude. If they're not growing, work on the growing. But I have and I liked what the thing that you said about the morning, but I have something I can give you right now, and I can give all the listeners that will really benefit you. So the first thing you could do when you first get up in the mornings, when you go to the mirror, you could do this incantation, and you say to yourself something like this, and you can develop your own. I am strong, I am powerful, I am invincible, I can handle this, I always have, I always will. I'm here to make a difference. Today's going to be an amazing day. I love you. I'm in love with you. You're a great person. You have a great heart. You have integrity, honesty, serenity, peace. Today's the day. I'm going to seize the day. I'm going to play full out. I love you. I love you. I love you. And if you do this every morning, and if you do something similar at night, it'll set you up for the next 12 hours.
I love it. And I know my life has changed so much since I started really getting into all the growing several years back. I mean, I was doing well and I had success, but I was, going through the motions. I was kind of like existing. I wasn't really living. I was just doing, I was being. And, life is not only, financially and taking trips and seeing things and going places, But, I have no drama in my life, virtually no drama. And the only drama I have in my life is like unrealistic expectations that I put on myself. And when I don't meet them, sometimes, I'll beat myself up, but then I always go back to the core stuff, like, so what? But we can get more into this stuff. Can we, just so each episode is self-contained in case they can't, for some reason, listen to the second episode or at least listen to it right away, or they heard something right here. How can people contact you so they can, we're going to close out this episode in like 2 minutes, but I want to make sure people have your contact info.
The best way is if you go to my website, it's immediatehappiness.com, or if they want to email me, my personal email is this, Anil, ANIL, @immediatehappiness.com. And if you have any issues or concerns, anything about your life you want to change, I'd be more than willing to help you.
Excellent. And for the listeners, I want to let you know we're going to close out here in a second. I'm just going to give my closing. Then we're going to go into part 2, which will start in about 5 minutes after the local news. You've been listening to Anil Gupta on the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ron Couming of RCS Technology Solutions, where we help businesses attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients. Thanks, guys.